Hi! I know you're probably thinking, what the hell is going into this woman today? Why does she have some wooden spoons? What is going on? Well, I'm doing something a little bit different this Friday for Fibro Friday, which I'll explain you why these spoons are here in just a second. But it kind of stems from something that happened on this week. You may have been watching my stories where a terrible fake Instagram account has, and actually with a lot of followers, has been pretty much stealing people's posts and photos and content about fibromyalgia and our struggles to make money for themselves, which is terrible. It's been reported, and I think several of the posts have been taken down, if not the account itself. But I wanted to raise some awareness, but also, and mostly, I wanted to send some message of hope, positivity for everyone out there thinking, oh, why can't people just leave us be, sort of thing. So, first of all, and for those of you who may have experienced this, you need to be careful on the internet. There are a lot of accounts that pretend to be someone else, and obviously we all know this, and I'm not suggesting that you don't, but just be a bit careful, particularly when it comes to people pretending to be charities and organizations that are like that, because the least thing you want to think is that someone is trying to take advantage of you because of an illness or a condition you may have. It's just gaslighting. It's just in every single way, shape, or form terrible. We already have enough on our plates. We don't need this type of abuse, which is essentially what it is. They are taking advantage of our issue to make profit. They are not fixing any of our issues. They are not even contributing to our issues in any way, shape, or form. They are just profiting from it. So please, guys, if you are ever in doubt, just check the credentials. It's so easy to spot, and just make sure that you're notifying either the people whose content has been stolen, or pass it around amongst other people who you think may not know about it. And in general, obviously, just notify Instagram so they can do something about it. But that being said, and this is really the reason why I wanted to talk about positivity today, is, yes, there's a lot of bad stuff out there, but there is also a lot of good stuff. And more importantly, the good stuff has to come from us. And that's where these spoons come from. So those of you who may not be aware of the lingo that we cool kids use, a spoonie is a person with a chronic illness, and we call ourselves like that colloquially because there is something that we use for pacing, a technique that we use for pacing known as the spoon theory, which means that when you wake up in the morning, you have so many spoons that you can allocate or use to consume certain activities, right? So if you mismeasure and you run out of spoons, that's you done for the day. And that can happen at 11 o'clock in the morning, or, in the afternoon, whatever. It's, it can vary, obviously, depending on your circumstances. So obviously, it's quite a big burden to carry, knowing that you sort of belong to a group of people who are essentially banding together because they have a common issue, and that issue is a health one. I think it's really difficult. We tend to see ourselves in a very bad light, like we have a problem and therefore society hates us because there is no place for us because we are not normal. And I can see where you're coming from, guys. That's essentially how society treats us. But not everyone in society is like that. And more importantly, we are not like that. We know the issue. So instead of making it an issue, or instead of making it more of an issue than it is, we need to find a way of taking a positive spin into it, just so we can cope, just so we can appreciate that we're much more than our illness. And this is the deal. My best friend came this weekend. He's a good woodworker, like you can see, and he brought me spoons. And I was like, they're amazing, they're beautiful. Why did you brought me spoons? He was like, well, I thought because you're a spoonie, and I thought then that way they'll bring you some form of joy. And they genuinely did. The fact that someone went to that length for me to do something that celebrated me despite my illness and embraced my illness really showed me that it's not just us. Fibromyalgia is not necessarily something that the people around us take as a burden, but also see that it's just who we are, and they love us for it and embrace us. And they sure probably would want to take our pain away and our fatigue away, but they also wouldn't want to take the fire that we have inside us to fight every single day, to get out of bed, to get out of the house, to breathe, to just be. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that I enjoy my illness. Obviously, don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm not ashamed of being a spoonie. This is part of who I am. And maybe it's part of who you are too. And that's okay. And you're beautiful for it. We are beautiful for it, because we don't let this struggle hold us back. We fight, and maybe we're not the person that we thought we were going to be, years ago or months ago, whatever. But we are still people. We are still here, and we're still making a difference, whatever that may be. Even if you think it's small, even if you think it's completely negligent, you are making a difference, and you are awesome just by existing, because you have to cope with so much stuff that everyone else doesn't have to. And I just really wanted you to hear that today. I genuinely hope anyone that's listening today that has a chronic illness or an illness of any kind that makes you debilitating, that throws all sorts of struggles to you today, and you're watching this, you'll actually take a moment to think back and say, yeah, I may not like my illness, but I don't have to hide that from the world. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something that we should feel scared because of the way other people may treat us, or they may see us. Screw them. We are we, and we are spoonies for life, and that's okay. We can build our own communities, and more importantly, we can change the community around us. And I've seen that through the fundraiser, and just by talking to people and just being aware and sort of owning it. We need to own it. Yeah, I have an illness, so what? Got a problem with that? No? Good, okay. We can carry on and be friends, or not. But it's entirely okay to tell people to bugger off because they don't respect you and your illness. And it's entirely okay to be appreciative of the fact that you may not be the same person that you are right now because of your illness, with the goods and the bads. So yeah, I just really wanted to put that out there. It's so hard to be positive. I really know it is, but I think there is so much more to our illness and to the things that we do because of our illness than we realize. And I think once you start giving yourself a bit of credit for all the stuff you cope with and all the stuff you do under the conditions that you do it, you'll realize, hang on a moment, I'm awesome. And that little bit of self-love will eventually transform in self-care. And once you start practicing that a lot more, you'll start noticing change. And I think that change will be not just empowering, but also liberating. I hate it when people with illnesses try to stay in the shadows because they don't feel they can talk about it, or no one wants to hear it, or they are scared of what people may think about them. Life's too short for that. We have too many things in our life to be considering what the world is gonna make of us. There's no point. And more importantly, people should be supportive of any illnesses. You don't know what's gonna happen to you in life. You don't know the hand that you've been dealt when you're born. Anything could happen. So to all of my fibromyalgia peeps, and to all of my chronic illness friends and people who I don't know, even if I don't know you right now, I really hope you believe me when I say you are cool. You got this. You are doing this. You are. Because if you're watching this, surely you must know that you are today here, and you're making a difference, and you're having an impact, and you're larger than life. You're larger than you. You're a part of something big and scary and draining and terrifying and frustrating and ridiculous and all of these emotions. But deep down, I really hope that you can appreciate the happiness. I really hope that you can make space for the happiness, because once we actually start coming to terms with it and making peace with our demons or our conditions, there is space for joy. And the joy is what makes us realize that as much as our illness may seem like a burden, and some days it really makes us feel completely useless, that's not all. There is joy, there is happiness, there is love, there is sunshine, there are pretty things in life, rainbows, flowers, I don't know, Warhammer miniatures, whatever makes you happy. I really hope that you can see that. Yeah, that's really what I wanted to say today. Nothing else, no big miracle cure or anything like that, no hack lives, nothing like that. Just believe in yourself, love yourself, respect yourself, appreciate that your body and mind may have contradicting feelings about you and how you may work, but that's okay. Everyone else that doesn't have a chronic illness and looks down on you doesn't have life figured out. Don't let that intimidate you. Don't let them put you down. Because sure, they may not have an illness, but life throws curveballs to everybody. Just the fact that they got lucky or lucky with what they have now doesn't mean that tomorrow something else won't happen to them. And there is no reason why anyone should look down on you for having an illness of any type, whether it's mental health, whether it's fibromyalgia, pain, chronic illness, anything else. You're human, just like everyone else. And just like everyone else, maybe you're not entirely centered right now. You don't know exactly where you are, where you're going. You don't fully understand where you've been. I mean, if you have a fibrophobia moment, you don't even probably remember what you have for breakfast. And that's okay. I really want you to understand that that's okay. And that you are okay. Or maybe if you are not okay now, you will be okay. Because we got you. And yeah, you're not alone. And I really hope that as the weekend comes ahead, you may have something to look forward to and to recharge, even if it's a tiny bit of energy. And just feel proud of yourself and everything that you've achieved so far, because you is what has taken you here today to this video that you're watching of this girl who you may know or may not know. And I can tell you that because I'm going through the exact same journey. Obviously different shoes, but it's the exact same journey. So if I'm here today and I'm telling you we're doing all right, I hope you believe me, because we are. And that's all that matters. Oh, that was a bit emotional, but I wasn't really expecting these. I think they are gonna become grounding items for me. They're very tactile, they're very soft, and that makes them really cool. But yeah, I just wanted to pass that little bit of positivity and happiness about an illness to the rest of you, because it's not a gift that you expect all the time, and maybe it's not a gift that I was expecting that will bring me joy, but it made me feel appreciated as a human being with my limitations. And my limitations are part of me, and I'm happy that now I have some spoons to prove that. So I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. Take care of yourselves, love and share the world with everyone else that loves you. And if you put it out to the world, I really sincerely think that it will come back to you in the shape of kindness, and hopefully make you feel a bit better about your illness and everything else that you're going through. And if any of you need someone to reach out to, or you just don't know where you are right now, or you just need to rant, whatever, even if you don't know me, genuinely, I can't say it more clearly than this. I'm here for you. I don't know if I don't care, if you don't care who I am, whatever, just I'm here, and I'll be open to have that conversation with you and hopefully make you see how wonderful you are. Take care. Bye.